Hi and good evening. My name is Shabina Rehman. My co-author is Dr. Gurbir Dullet. I belong to the School of Education and Social Sciences at the Management and Science University, Malaysia, whereas Dr. Gurbir Dullet is from the Department of Psychology, Maharaja Agrasen Himalayan Garhwal University, India. Together, we are presenting to you a paper entitled Mastery Approach versus Performance Approach, an investigation on motivational frameworks in the Malaysian context. To start off with, let me give you a brief introduction of both of us. I have a background in the field of educational psychology. I've held various key roles in the Management and Science University Malaysia, including Deputy Dean, Head of Department, and currently I serve as the Head of Quality Assurance and Audit. I have an experience of about 20 years of teaching, and my interest lies in the field of educational and cognitive psychology. Dr. Gurbir Dullet is a consultant psychologist who has been registered at the Rehabilitation Council of India and accredited by the American Psychological Association and Bharatiya Counseling Psychology Association. She specializes in a wide array of psychological issues, successfully addressing challenges faced by children, adolescents, adults, and elderly. She also deals with individuals who have issues with alcohol and substance related disorders. Dr. Dullet is currently attached with the Maharaja Agrasen Himalayan Garhwal University, India. The objective of this study is to investigate the differential effects of mastery approach orientation and performance approach orientation on enhancing motivation among students in Malaysia. Based on a thorough examination of current literature, this research clarifies the complex connections between these two orientations and student motivation. A conceptual model has been suggested to hypothesize the potential effects of mastery and performance approach on motivation, suggesting that both orientations have crucial roles in motivating students. The study utilized a method of quantitative investigation to examine these hypotheses by employing structural equation modeling with SMART PLS4 program. This analytical methodology facilitated a thorough investigation of the correlations between mastery and performance approach orientations and student motivation in the Malaysian environment. The empirical outcomes of this study provide strong evidence that both mastery and performance approach orientations have a substantial impact on improving students' motivation. More precisely, the findings emphasize the crucial significance of incorporating both orientations into instructional practices to create a favorable learning environment that promotes student motivation. To start off with, within the field of educational psychology, a deep comprehension of student motivation is crucial for improving both academic performance and personal growth. This facet of education, complex and multifaceted, has attracted considerable interest among scholars and educators alike, with the goal of understanding the elements that motivate or discourage students in their academic endeavors. Motivation is not a single entity, but rather an intricate combination of different internal and external influences. The central focus of this discussion is the concept of achievement goal theory, which proposes two main orientations that influence learning and achievement: mastery approach orientation and performance approach orientation. The mastery approach orientation emphasizes the inherent worth of learning and self improvement, motivating students to willingly accept challenges and persevere in the presence of obstacles. On the other hand, a performance approach orientation, which is fueled by external rewards and recognition, encourages pupils to surpass their classmates and attain achievements that is externally acknowledged. These orientations are not independent, but rather exist within the cultural, social, and institutional framework of the educational environment. Malaysia offers a fascinating setting to study how its many ethnic groups, rich culture, and educational goals influence student motivation. The Malaysian educational system, known for its focus on both academic prowess and comprehensive growth, is currently at a very crucial point where comprehending motivational dynamics can greatly influence educational techniques and results. Prior research has primarily concentrated on Western settings, resulting in a lack of comprehension regarding the manifestation of these processes inside the Malaysian educational system. Furthermore, There is a lack of empirical research that investigates the collective influence of these orientations on student motivation in Malaysia. This study tries to fill the gap. The hypotheses are as follows. The first one being there is a significant positive effect of the mastery approach on students' motivation, and the second one, there is a significant positive effect of the performance approach on students' motivation. The research design of this study is based on positivist philosophy, which supports a quantitative research approach that aims to investigate the effects of mastery and performance approach orientations on motivation among students of Bachelor in Education, teaching English as a second language or TESOL program. The research employed a systematic sampling method to select participants from a sample frame of 1,800 undergraduate students enrolled in Bachelor in Education TESOL program at 6 private universities in Malaysia. A total of 600 participants from the designated universities in Selangor and Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia were provided with questionnaire links for data collection. A total of 336 replies were received, representing a response rate of 56%. 29 replies were excluded due to causes such as inadequate information and challenges in identifying multivariate outliers. As a result, 307 replies were considered appropriate for the final analysis, indicating a valid response rate of 51.17%. The student motivation questionnaire was employed to assess the levels of motivation among the respondents. This questionnaire incorporated and modified metrics from the previous studies conducted by Wachaka, Bunting, Paul, and Campbell. A pilot test was carried out in a school with a cohort that had similar demographic characteristics to verify the reliability of the questionnaire. The questionnaire had strong reliability as indicated by Cronbach's alpha coefficient of 0.0867. Hypothesis testing. This study utilized a two-step technique of partial least squares structural equation modeling, PLSM, to analyze the data. Their main aim was to assess both the measurement model and the structural model. To evaluate the reliability of the constructs, measures such as Cronbach's alpha and composite reliability were employed, the CR being favored due to its decreased bias. As indicated in Table 1, the study discovered that CR values ranged from 0.948 to 0.978, surpassing the acceptable threshold of 0.70. This indicates that there is a high level of internal consistency among the latent components. The average variance extracted values, which range from 0.727 to 0.808, exceeded the minimum threshold of 0.50. This confirms that the constructs were able to account for more than 50% of the variation in the indicators, hence supporting their convergent validity. The Fornell-Larker criterion was satisfied when the square root of the AVE for each construct surpassed its maximum correlation with any other construct, thus confirming the distinctiveness of the constructs. Table 2 shows the VIF, or the variance inflation factor values for all predictor components. The analysis revealed that the VIF were below the threshold of 5, indicating the lack of substantial collinearity issues within the model. Upon complete the measurement of the structural model, the significance of the path coefficients was assessed by the utilization of the bootstrapping approach, which involved the incorporation of 5,000 bootstrap samples and 396 data points in accordance with the stated rules. The R2 value in this study is significantly greater than that is seen in similar research, suggesting that the two independent factors collectively account for 48.9% of the variation in the dependent variable, specifically motivation, through their direct influence. The study concludes the model estimation process by assessing the model fit using certain fit indices outlined in Table 3. The NFI, or the norm fit index, and the standardized root mean square residual values for both models demonstrated a robust fit, the NFI values approaching 1 and SRMR values falling below 0.08 threshold. This suggests that the models adhere well to the criteria for acceptable fit. In addition, PLSM bootstrapping method calculates the confidence intervals for the SRMR values. The initial SRMR measurements for both models are within 99% confidence interval boundaries, which confirms that the models fit well with the observed data. This is the research framework. Upon assessing the hypothesis, the confidence intervals for the path coefficients were calculated using the bootstrapping technique. This resulted in strong evidence supporting the hypothesis with p-values below 0.01. The study found a statistically significant positive association, beta value of 0.386, t-value 2.88, and p less than 0.004 between mastery approach and motivation as shown in Table 4 and Figure 1. This supports hypothesis 1. Implementing a mastery approach has the potential to increase motivation by 38.6%. In addition, Table 4 demonstrates a significant positive relationship between performance approach and motivation, confirming hypothesis 2. Comparing the beta values reveals that goal orientation has a beneficial influence on motivation, with the mastery approach having a stronger impact on student motivation when compared with the performance approach. The research showed a substantial positive connection between mastery approach orientation and student motivation. This indicates that the mastery approach has a strong impact on improving student motivation. Furthermore, a correlation was found between performance approach orientation and motivation also. However, the strength of this link was slightly weaker compared to the mastery approach. These findings highlight the distinct effects of mastery and performance approaches on motivation, supporting and expanding upon earlier research in the field of educational psychology. The mastery approach, which is based on the aspiration for learning and comprehension, seems to be greatly influencing the student motivation. The relationship can be comprehended by applying the principles of self-determination theory, which suggests that intrinsic motivation is strengthened when individuals participate in activities that fulfill their fundamental psychological needs of competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Previous research also supports this claim, demonstrating that students who have a strong mastery orientation display greater levels of intrinsic motivation, engagement, and persistence in their learning efforts. In contrast, the performance approach, which emphasizes surpassing others and obtaining external recognition, also has a favorable impact on motivation, albeit to a smaller degree than the mastery approach. The results of this study highlight the significance of creating an educational setting that prioritizes individual development and mastery of subject matter, which also recognizes the motivating power of achievement-oriented objectives. By incorporating these orientations into educational procedures, educators can enhance their ability to assist students in attaining their academic goals and personal growth. Further investigation is warranted to examine the intricate relationship between these orientations and motivation, taking into account individual variations, environmental factors, in order to comprehensively grasp their significance for educational implementation. The contributions and the limitations of this study. The findings enhance the theoretical comprehension of how various goal orientations, specifically mastery and performance, interact with and impact the student motivation. By emphasizing the robust positive relationship between mastery orientation and motivation, it underscores the importance of intrinsic drive in fostering long-term engagement and learning as opposed to relying on external rewards. This study provides useful insights into the distinct impacts of mastery and performance orientations on student motivation. However, its scope is limited because the students who have been used as respondents belong only to one program, Bachelor in Education, Teaching English as a Second Language, in private universities in Malaysia. The limited applicability of the results to different groups, such as students from diverse academic disciplines and educational establishments, is a constraint. To improve our comprehension of motivational orientations in various educational settings, it is important to address these constraints in future study. Thank you for listening to me. For any further inquiries, please do contact me at Shabina at msu.edu.my. Thank you very much.